And they are on their way. We're going to lower the music here. And 8:01, I'd say let's see if everyone's good to go. Oops. I don't know why, but I felt like I typed that so slow. Oh my god! 20 months?
R-A-A-A.
What the fuck? You made her mentally not there. I'm unking the channel. Damn. Thank you for 20 months, man. That feels like the entirety of how long you've been following. All right, 1 year, 8 months. All right, looks like both teams are ready to kick this week number 5 into gear. As early shot, easily saved. But SP Kraken in blue, Spartan Storm in orange. And this is CPL 3v3 circuit for the Tier 4, which, if you don't know, it includes C3-GC1. And this is a best of 5. We just started a game 1, and if you're new to the channel, this is chalked. We might as well tell you right out the gate. That's when it hits the crossbar. That's our crossbar sound. To let you know it's chalked and that it hit the crossbar. All for my boss, man. Don't worry, you'll be a boss man one day, Sleepy. And everyone will be relying on you. But good 50. Right now, Spartan Storm looking fast and aggressive. But that defensive Kraken holding strong. And still looking for a chance, but Gravy Monster gets the 50 into the net. They strike first. And Spartan Storm up by 1. But we'd also like to thank all the sponsors you can see on the top left. Many thanks to the sponsors for the season, helping produce a prize pool at the end of the season. Chew the victor, so makes it that much more fun to play for. Lil Day is literally my idol. He's literally your idol. That's big talk over there. Thank God. I've never casted one of your games, Crossbar. No, don't worry. We have some players. As Call Me Panther ties it up. A nice goal sneak in there as we are tied up 1 apiece. But yeah, there's certain players with Crossbar in their name from how much they hit it. So don't feel bad. But Lukey sneaks one through. That looked like it almost would have been pushed out, but SP Kraken concede 1 goal, but add 2 quickly. And Somber,
this is chalked.
Makes 2 converge. That's a high floater in! And they have the angles. And they're piling the offense. They started slow, but since then, ramped it up. And sometimes you get scored on. It kind of wakes you up. And that seems to be the case for SP Kraken. And now, Spartan Storm have a whole new thing to deal with. New adversity. Down by 2. And looking to continue some scoring ways. But we're getting closer to 2 minutes And challenge at the midfield. Little Day. Trying to get the bump. Cause the havoc. Lukey. One-on-one situation. Fax is there, but gives it up. And that is unfortunate. And we will always talk about the ability to get it to the corner when you're on defense. Get it out. As in front of net. Those are shot opportunities, and there you can see taking full advantage. SP Kraken add to the lead by 3. High ball. Little Day downfield. Gravy can't get that, but nice pass attempt from Little Day, who's continuing forward and gets the 50 as Fax bar down in. And a nice 1-2 combo here. Spartan Storm cut the lead by 2. Into the corner. Some plays as Fax lines it up again, and they have their shooter. Feed him the shots, and he'll get some solid ones through. 4-3 as now Tide slowly turning back into Spartan Storm's favor, but SP Kraken have built up a nice lead. They're still up by 1 as Fax gets another one and let the man shoot. Unless you're SP Kraken, as we are tied up, and this game feels like we ran a marathon with how different scenarios have turned out. We've seen big leads for, well, big lead for SP Kraken. Spartan Storm just had the 1-0 lead. But nonetheless, both teams having a staple on the game at different times. But that's why consistency is so big in Rocket League. Who can stay more consistent? And that is just nearly out. We thought Somber would capitalize. It was looking good for him. But light touch to the corner. 50's coming out. And Lil Day on an awkward spot.
This is chalked.
Gravy almost chalks it up. But will we have OT? Yes, we will. Game 1, OT. All the signs of a good series. Fax gonna be dunked by Lukey to converge. A little bit of panic, but Call Me Panther takes to the air. Gets a nice touch forward, trying to feed, but Gravy sniffs it out, attacks, and now counter, but that is unfortunate. Jumped the gun, and that's 2 down. Meanwhile, Lukey looking to attack, but back and forth. And what a sequence of plays. Every time you think one team's going to score, goes right back to the other way. And Demo on the retreat. Lukey, high ball, midfield. Fax is there. Some bumping happening, but Call Me Panther fills in nicely for his team. As those bumps did land. And Somber denied from Little Day, and Fax gonna try and collect. The flip going forward. 2 players converge again. Little Day met with resistance. And Gravy gonna bring it to the other corner. But Lukey all over that one, and Call Me Panther almost squeezed it through. And Little Day blocked out by Somber. Gravy trying on the other side. But those midfield passes are solid, but you got to give SP Kraken credit. They are quick to jump on it. And that's so key on defense for the clears. Not allowing that space to come through for the shot. Quick reaction. But midfield, demo coming out. Lukey has to stay with this one and does a great job at that. Buying some time for his team to recollect. And Somber right there after the 50. Now Panther. Gonna be denied. Gravy. Off to midfield. Lukey is there. Right to Panther. And missed opportunity. Kraken almost had something brewing. But Somber taking the 50s. No boost. And Lukey denied. Had the shot. But more pressure coming through from Kraken. Gravy a little bit awkward. That one's getting away as Lukey jumps right through. Damn. Wait, do you have the same followage as Sleepy?
This is chalk.
What? The double denied. Call Me Panther looking to end it. But not the case. And more 50s coming out. Call Me Panther fills in. Damn, we're getting old when people have... a lot of people have more than 1 year. How many days difference? I'm sure on something we could check, but right now, I don't know. But damn, we have almost 2 games played in this one. SOT going the distance. And our both teams gonna be tired after playing this one. But looking for one mistake. No team has conceded one. Solid play coming throughout. Gravy cutting through. We haven't seen a whole lot of demos either. Both teams complacent on defense. A miss there, but Fax fills in. Game 1 still going on. It's true. It's been a while since we had a lengthy overtime. It usually doesn't get past 5 minutes. Alright, appreciate it, Chaotic. And I'll see you later for the 10 p.m. But Gravy scores, and is it a coincidence after a demo? Lil Day wisely goes for the demo. Goal follows. And thank you so much for the follow, Crow. And Somber, I remember him. Is it the caster? Is it the same one? That's why he's the GOAT. Nitrous had it all in plan. Hey, thanks for the follow, Noxy. Much appreciated. I wonder if that's the Noxy I played with once upon a time. Alright, we're not going to forget. Thank you so much for the follow, Deer, as well. But we got to change the map. We are famous for forgetting the map if we are talking. But both teams are ready to jump into the next one. Yeah, 9 p.m. We got a cast as well with these fellas in chat. Alright, false alarm, we're missing one. Damn! Thank you so much for the follow, or I mean, subscription, sorry. I'm on auto-tune. Dear, that's very kind of you. Appreciate it. Let me know at a different time if you're still around for a song request. I'll oblige, just not right now, because we're in the middle of a cast. See you in 45. Alright, looking forward to it. Uh-oh, he's all rested and everything, so I expect good things from that 9 o'clock cast. But game 2 is here. Spartan Storm had a lengthy overtime. Did capitalize, but we always talk about game 2. Forbidden Temple is the one for us, but what it symbolizes is the bounce back. How do you take that game 1 loss? Do you recover? Do you adjust? What do you bring to the table? And that is why we are eyeing SP Kraken, seeing what they could do. High ball. Lukey denied from Little Day. But Gravy pops it high. Little Day trying to feed it back. What a touch going the other way. Fax happens to be there. But nonetheless, impressive power on that one. Fax takes to the air. He has no one challenging him. Gravy trying to snipe it through. Down to Lukey, who gets a touch. And what do you guys think? Is this one going to be a low-scoring game? Will the floodgates open with scoring? Right now, 0-0. Something's got to give, though. Typically, there goes an awkward one. Little Day is credited with the goal. But yeah, typically with that kind of OT, you'd expect to see a lot of mistakes following. But without fail, a tie almost instantly. We've seen that in game 1. SP Kraken sure know how to respond to that first goal. Once first team scores, the gates will open for sure, and I think you're onto something. Ion nose ball. But we are at halftime. And pinch right in front of net. There's a touch. Panther wisely gets it to the side, and 2 players on Storm fighting over that one. All day, awkward 50. Fax has to make a touch, does. And that's going down to Gravy, who's waiting in the wings. Sombert using his backboard. Lukey, high ball. This is a double commit. We've seen this a few times from Storm. Will they pay the price? Call me Panther. Has been quick on the draw, and that one had the Panther light in the air. Took the shot very quickly, and Panther has 2 goals for his squad. And Sombert trying to sneak one through. But there goes Little Day, who has been demoing but has help from Gravy. And the equalizer. And that is something that Spartan Storm have been doing well when they execute those demo plays. But high ball. And almost the touch going back to midfield. Somber as Fax gets the fake challenge to work. Call me Panther keeping it in the opponent's territory. Little Day controlling the midfield. And some bumps coming out, but Panther is going to move it forward. Will that create an overcommit? That pinch, if only it was higher. But Somber in the midfield. Can't get another. And 2-2. 50 seconds left. I mean, there's no way we go into OT again, right? But Gravy, touch to the side. That's the midfield. And both players converge. And the delay, waiting for a teammate to come through, and that's exactly what happens. Gravy wants a chip shot. Not going to happen. And Fax is there. Lukey creating awkward defense. And you could see all players wanted that goal. They sensed it. But 10 seconds left for some magic to prevent OT. But it is super interesting in this one. All the 50s, how pivotal they are. But both teams have good attack on the 50s. That's why you see so many. But OT game number 2. And Gravy moving it forward. Only Panther stopping it. Can do some damage. Somber trying to sneak it through, but that's a high bouncer. Lukey can't make contact, but does get a demo. But Fax drills it downfield, and that's actually in. Wasn't sure if it hit the crossbar out, but just waiting in net, able to blast it downfield. And this one's a different story in a way. Not so much of an overtime, but Spartan Storm prevail again in OT. And we're going to DFH Stadium. But there was a lot of pressure from Kraken. However, Spartan Storm held solid on the defense. And yeah, it looks like we just have to wait a little bit every time because I believe Somber. I believe it was Somber or somebody takes a little bit to get in. But all good. We are into game 3. And Spartan Storm trying to get the sweep. But it also means SP Kraken can't afford any more losses. It's reverse sweep for them in order to win. And let's not forget.
This is shocked.
Oh, Panther almost had one, but what a save from Little Day as another shot trying to follow. But so far, good pressure from Kraken, but what has plagued them is can they convert? They've been able to put up a lot of pressure, but
This is shocked.
the opportunities haven't been the best shots that they can get. My goat does it again. But Somber to the air. Gets the flip, but instantly challenged. And Little Day moving it down. As now Kraken are retreating. But that midfield battle happening again. And what a pivotal touch from Call Me Panther. Keeping it to the side. And awkward. Uh-oh, that's just through as Fax capitalizes on the mistake, and we've all been there. Lukey waiting, thinks his teammate has it, so what can you do? But by then, it's too late. An awkward goal going through. Can SP Kraken collect themselves? They're down by 1, down in the series. Gonna have to bring it all. One game at a time, starting with this one. But Call Me Panther, nice little touch, and it's been the offensive threat, and Somber adding a little bump action, and you love to see it from Kraken, adding some bumps to their favor, taking a page out of Spartan Storm's book. And Somber has an open net. That's through. And a nice challenge. And we've seen this before from Kraken. When they add one, they could add another. Can't do a proper 1v1. Needs to team deal with a goat. Well, the goat is down in this one so far. But, without fail, Nitrous, you gotta be proud of your boy. As we say, he cuts it. Finds the net and ties it up. Nitrous might be onto something. But we're heading to halftime, tied 2 apiece. And the games have been so close, going OT in every game. And that just goes to show you, SP Kraken could just as well be up in this series. It's been a difference of 1 goal every time. Right now we're tied. Very even series. And demo downfield, and Fax follows, and that's been the difference maker. Little Day adding those bumps and demos, and typically a goal is able to follow. And Fax has been very good on the shooting end, providing that offense that Spartan Storm needs. And they're starting to know their roles and play to it. But SP Kraken still have a solid chance to tie this one up, especially from Panther, who trying to cause a little chaos. 1 minute 35 to go. Gravy lets that one get away. Call me Panther. Can find another. Is their lead blocker, but high challenge and touch in front of net. But Somber gonna wait. 50 midfield denied, but
This is chalk.
just barely gets it out. That was almost saved. But a nice pass from Somber. 2 players wanted that one, but luckily hangs in front of net, able to finish it off, and we are tied yet again. But as we talked about early on, Fax lets that one fall through, and a good position to be in. You're not sure if the fake's going to come through, if another touch, and that one drops through. Fax quick to add another, and we're here again. But yeah, as we talked about earlier, it's 2-2 on the season for SP Kraken. Meanwhile, Spartan Storm 1-3. So, very pivotal midway point on the season. But 20 seconds left. Call me Panther. Not going to get the time. Lukey a little bit awkward. And Gravy attacks. And there's another denial for Panther. And Lil Day might have the clincher. There it is. That's 2 goals. Lead, really. With 2 seconds left. CPL is 7 weeks. But sometimes teams have a bye. And Fax adds another one in 2 seconds, just in case you weren't confident. But Spartan Storm have to be confident off of that sweep. But it was not easily earned, as these games were very close up until the end. I mean, that game was very close up until very late. So
this is chalked.
What a series. What a bunch of OTs. Big credit to SP Kraken. They fought hard.
This is chalked.
Also didn't have their captain, but they put in quite the effort. But Spartan Storm take the victory, and we will get to predictions. If you chose... Alright, you gotta stop with that. This is chalk. That's enough out of you. All right, Spartan Storm. There's their prediction. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Shocked.
All right, that is enough. There weren't that many crossbars. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, especially those who rooted on your team. Win or loss, I know they appreciate it. The support means a lot. But also, I appreciate you guys being in chat, tuning in, even if you didn't chat. You are appreciated. So thanks everyone for this week 5 matchup. But we have more on the night for CPL if you want more CPL casts, but that is going to do it for this one. So we got like 30 minutes to get ready for the next one.